Welcome to your magical moon message. This is the Peace Dealer, and we are at the moon in Cancer and the sun in Taurus. Congratulations. We are reaching the end of Taurus season. It's going to go into Leo. We're going to have that final quarter square, and then we're going to shift gears as the moon goes into Virgo and the sun shifts into Gemini. Like there's certain people who speak the language who heard what I said and they're like, "What?" And then everybody else who doesn't know it like that, which not a big deal, that just went all over your head. So like the moon is going to be in mutable Virgo of change when the sun enters Gemini of change, square Jupiter in Pisces of change. So like if you're not yet aware that everything you know about life is getting ready to change and will change on that day over the next 30 days, you don't even have to know. You don't even have to know. But here's one thing you should know. You, and this is not a Barnum statement because this will apply specifically to your life. Even though it will apply to a lot of other people, it's still the truth. You are dealing with several people who are looking at what you're doing in your life and saying in your life as foo-foo and not substantial. The opportunity cost that has come from this cumulative decision to not take you seriously. Remember, the opportunity cost from that cumulative moment of day-to-day experiences that they have approached you like that is hitting people in the face throughout this whole week. Because whereas they made the opportunity cost to not really listen and hear with their heart, but really with their ears, other people made the opportunity cost to hear you out because ultimately we're reflections of another. And so even if what you're doing is good or bad subjectively to them, you're being an instrument of this divine essence of the universe or of you for other people to make their own karmic decisions, because how they react to you is their karma and what you do is your karma. So keeping this in mind, with this change of perception, this is the dopest thing about fixed signs. Consistency and value comes through repetition, which you learn with Virgo. So you're not doing anything to prove anything to everyone, but because you stayed true, because through this Taurus season, cumulatively with respective cycles previously, you built your value and put yourself in a position where whether people want to buy in or not, it still holds its own true value. This is going to be the catalyst throughout the next couple of weeks to have people in the weirdest ways freak out about how they really had you fucked up, not about how they slept on you. And I don't want to speak on this where like I'm veiling that people are sleeping on me. I'm straight, just like I'm sure you're straight. I've learned through this journey to focus on people who actually show positivity and love. And I said that wrong. But like instead of focusing on the hate, I focus on the positive. And I could be blessed to say that, you know, I've co-created and manifested a dope collective of super amazing people like you. You don't know how awesome it is when y'all always message me how these messages are on point. Like, I love it. I think it's amazing. So I'm not really focused on, you know, casting pearl to swine or people who just don't get it yet. It may not come from me. It may come from someone else. It may come from them. So this is still very important though, because some of you are in very lucrative positions or in very controversial positions where you need people to take you serious. And they made the decision to make your job harder by not doing so. Well, you didn't let that stop you. and you kept moving forward and forging that value. Okay, this is like, I'm picking up heavily those of you who are incorporating unconventional ideas to traditional structures. You had to go through that whole BS where it's like, that's never gonna work and blah 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 blah, except it worked though, and they're still hating. But it's like, cool, because now they're gonna freak out about how much they've missed from not taking you serious. So keep that in mind, because a lot of that is not going to go out like, oh, especially for this transit, oh, I was wrong. They're going to project that instead on you like it's your fault. So other than that, don't entertain the malarkey. The moon in Cancer is getting you ready for the shift. It's going to go into Leo, fix, and then it's going to change in Gemini. So this moon in Cancer, while we are opposite Pluto, is very crucial, because this is going to fundamentally shift and alter the attitude of how sincere you are about your value. For example, the wisdom and emotional intelligence of Cancer, third house to Taurus, is where Taurus can communicate with you without having to say a word. It's very earth and water speak with a body language. And so you're going to be receptive and contemplating with the moon in its dignity of how deeply you really feel about how valuable you are. And when you do that, you're not going to respond to stupid shit that's said to you because it's stupid and it's beneath you. You know your worth. You're just going to probably give them the crab stare, like, your whole existence is pointless right now. But like, other than that, you don't even have to be condescending or anything. But what's very important is you really embrace what you're feeling. In light of the trine the moon will be making to Neptune, this is going to have you tune in to very extra dimensional vibrations that don't just channel with the sextile to Uranus, but have you feel at a divine level the ultimate nature of psychic impressions and intuitions. Timing is not just, perfect timing, and synchronicities are not just synchronicities. Everything is slowly but surely guiding you beyond into the next moment. But none of this shit matters, because once we hit Gemini season, it's all going to change. It's all going to be fucking crazy. And what you need to understand before then is this transit coming into Leo is establishing the expression of your worth through this very sincere element of special power. Because the best part about this is you're going to be expressing the manifested potential of your abilities. So the third house, where the moon is to the sun, is the house of abilities and skills. And relative to the true value you manifested and gained enlightenment towards, the actions, the emotionally driven actions, feelings, energy, emotion that you conduit, because you have feelings and then you have emotions. Feelings and emotions are correlated, but if emotions are a state of what you feel, feelings is the actual action of feeling those emotions. So Cancer is going to have you internally shift your inner world and self to develop psychic abilities. And of course, since it's the moon, this is the psychic ability to be receptive to psychic impressions around you. And it's a very fancy way of just embracing how full of shit people are, and how full of shit people have always been, and how full of shit people will continue to be. Please just stop and think here that a whole bunch of people around the world really still do believe that the virus that's gone around was naturally leaked, from a bat, and that a whole lot of psychological mind effery and covert coups that have taken place aren't working overtime to manipulate with narratives your perception, to the point that they've convinced everyone to stick some experimental whatever in you just so that you can actually breathe without a mask, which you have the natural right to do. This is all sorts of questioning sovereignty. And with Jupiter that trine the moon as it enters Cancer, this is really allowing you to feel deeper into the transcendent quality of your own uniqueness of soul and its relationship with the society around you. Ask yourself how you feel about everything going on in the world and move based on that. Not on what you think other people may want you to, because of course this feeling will be very different from what is expected of you. Other than that, we also see that the moon is on Mars. And so this is going to really favor sexual encounters and sexual expression. But not, and this isn't Mars and Aries that's like, we're going to do it right now. This is really more feeling into the depth of passion with which you can channel without words. Look, ma, no hands. And being able to project and feel into that so that sexual desire can come from a sincere place and not a forced place. Other than that, concerning the special abilities that you're manifesting, it's going to be very unique to who you are. When the moon goes into Leo, it's going to establish the courage that is anchored in your heart based off of the action you've generated with these special abilities. So you'll definitely see it more to where the moon opposes Pluto near the end of the transit. How much of this will challenge your ability to adapt extremely to, based on what you're feeling, the opposite emotional response. And to see if you can maintain the integrity of your character in the face of those who desperately wish and seek to gaslight the fuck out of you. And here's where the regular astrology is over. All you have to really know about this moon transit is that it's going to manifest your special abilities. And for those of you who haven't been embracing your psychic power, this is going to be uncomfortable as hell. For those of you who've been going with the flow, this is going to be everything you've ever wanted and more, but it's still just the beginning. It's not even anywhere. We're not in Virgo season yet. So really keep this in mind, because you really have to ask yourself, with all this bullshit that's going on, how serious is it for you? Because a lot of people are spiritual and a lot of people are down for the cause until now their civil liberties start to be, you know what I'm saying, messed with. Until now things start to get inconvenient for them. Well, I mean, I don't believe in this, but I have to patronize this. And you motherfuckers would not last a day in the civil rights era. Okay, the reason why I have the freedoms I have is because black people wanted to not get, rejected to go to certain restaurants. And so they chose to sit in, getting harassed by people. That shit was not comfortable for them. Black people in Montgomery boycotted the bus system for not a month, for not 2 months, for not 3 months, for not 4 months. Most of you motherfuckers after 2 months will be like, I can't do this. I'm sorry. I just have to get this. I can't not do this. So like a lot of people are not built for this. A lot of people are not built for this because peace has made people soft. So a transit like this is going to start to implement, the power and strength you're going to need to walk that talk. This whole revolution of the individual is making your own path. You see these roads here? It was through collective effort and taxpayer dollars that this was built. So you, without taxpayer dollars and resources off the wazoo, making your own path is going to take a while. It's going to take sacrifices. It's not going to be easy. But you didn't come here because it's easy. You came here to do this because you're a fucking badass. So really ask yourself today, are you really about this revolution shit? Because it's okay to admit that you're not. It's okay to admit that you're not. Take the motherfucking blue pill, okay? Eat your fucking food. Deal with the shit that these people want to do to undermine your sovereignty, and don't fight that fight. Just don't complain when it comes to that. And when they're microchipping your anus. Because for those of you who are fighting forward towards revolution, we are all we got, we are all we need. Where we go one, we go all. Whether you believe in Q or not, I don't need a organization to tell me what's the truth. We live it out every day. And so I respect and honor you for not holding your tongue and not caring or giving into this stupid peer pressure, but using your platform to spread the truth and not spread pseudoscience and stupid information to pander to people because they think they can virtue signal us to death. Y'all stay blessed as always. And until Moon and Leo.